So first graders, I had a little problem when I walked into my classroom this morning. Some of the words on the word wall were missing, and I didn't know what to do because they were up there when I left school yesterday. So I came in the classroom and I started looking for my words. Wait, Rashid, what are you holding? It says, ha ha, I took your words. Rashid, that's not nice. You took our words. Well, we might as well read them and see what words you have. Call them out with me. You, like, do, and had. Wait, now what are you saying, Rashid? The kids learned those words in kindergarten? You think they're ready to learn some new first grade words? Okay. So today I want to show you a routine that we're going to use when we learn new snap words in first grade. When we learn a new snap word, first, we read it. Second, we study it. Third, we spell it. Fourth, we cover, write, and check the word, and then we use it. I'm realizing that this is a how-to list. It's a how-to about how to turn any word into a snap word, a word that you can read and write in a snap. Let's try it with our first new snap word. Are you ready? What word is this? His. This word is his. Now let's read it in a sentence. His lunch was on the rug. So first we read it. Now we're going to study it. Put on your binoculars, zoom in, and study the word. His. What do you notice about his? Yeah, kids were noticing that in his, we see a smaller snap word, is. Is inside of his. Now it's time to spell out his. We can spell his by snapping it. Ready? His. H-I-S. His. Sometimes kids even like to stomp their feet. Ready? His. H-I-S. His. Okay. Now it's time to cover, write, and check it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cover, Okay, I'm going to cover his, going to cover it up. Okay, your turn. Write the word, his. Some kids might want to say it out loud as they write it down. His. Okay, I'm going to uncover it now. Thumbs up if your word his looks like the word his up here. Okay, now it's time to use it in a sentence. Watch as I do this. His shoe is on the floor. Or, is that his lunchbox over there? Now you try it. Use his in a sentence. You can talk to your reading partner, your stuffed partner, or you can talk to a kid in the room. Yeah. So you just made his a snap word. Let's move on to the next word. What word is this? Then. Let's read then in a sentence. We have art and then recess. Let's study it. Put on your binoculars and zoom in to study then. What are you noticing about then? Yeah, kids notice that then starts with the TH digraph, and it makes the V sound in then. Now let's spell it. Get your hands ready. We'll clap out the spelling of then. Ready? Then. T-H-E-N. Then. Let's try it again. Ready? Then. T-H-E-N. Then. Okay. Now it's time to cover and write it. I'm going to cover it up. It's your job to write the word then. Do you remember what it looked like? Write it down. Then. Okay. Thumbs up if your word then looks like this word then. Step 5 is to use it as in a sentence. Then pour the flour into the bowl. Or I could say, you have to eat breakfast and then we have lunch. Your turn. Try using then in a sentence. Okay, ready for the next word? Call this word out if you know it. Saw. It's saw. Let's read the sentence. I saw Jordan at the bus stop. Step 2 is to study it. Put on your binoculars, zoom in and study saw. What do you notice about saw? Noticing that saw starts with the letter S, it ends with the letter W, and the A in saw doesn't say the S sound. It says aw. Now let's spell it. Spell it out with me. S-A-W, saw. Let's say it in a loud voice this time. S-A-W, saw. Okay, you ready to write it? I'm going to cover it up. Write down saw. Write it down. Okay, and check it. Thumbs up if your word saw looks like this word saw. Now let's use it in a sentence. I saw so many pumpkins on the way home from school. Or we can say, I saw a new movie on TV last night. Your turn. Say a sentence using saw. Okay, let's try the next word. Next up, this word is said. Let's go, said Piggy. Okay, it's time to study it. Put on your binoculars and zoom in on said. I'm thinking I've seen this word so many times in different books that I've read. In said, I hear said. I hear the S sound, which is funny because there's no E in said. I see the letters A and I, but I hear the S sound. Let's spell it. Ready, everybody? Said. S-A-I-D, said. Let's say it in a whisper voice. Are you ready now? Said. S-A-I-D, said. Okay, it's time to cover, write, and check it. Write it down on your board. Said. Said. Okay, check. Thumbs up if your word said looks like this word said. Now let's use it in a sentence. I said that I wanted chocolate ice cream. Or, she said we could go to the playground after school. Okay, let's go on to the next word. Next we have say. Let's read it. Say. Did you say my name? Okay, now let's study it. Put on your binoculars, zoom in, and study say. What are you noticing? I'm noticing that say rhymes with day or play. They rhyme and they both end in A-Y. Say looks like other words that we've seen before. Let's spell say. Ready? Say. S-A-Y. Say. Let's spell it again. Say. S-A-Y. Say. Okay, I'm gonna cover it up. Write it down. Say. Say. Okay, give yourself a thumbs up if your word say on your board or your paper looks like this word say. Okay, and then let's use it. Did you say something? I thought she said that, but I really couldn't hear. Or say. Say my name. You try using say in a sentence. Okay, and the last word we have is they. They have a pet dog. Let's zoom in and study it. Study it, friends. What do you notice about they? Yeah, they starts the same as then. Then and they both start with the TH digraph, and it makes the V sound in they. They also rhymes with say. I hear the same sound at the middle and the end of they and say. Let's spell they. Let's do a little cheerleading cheer for they. Ready? They. T-H-E-Y. They. Let's try it again. The cheer. Ready? They. T-H-E-Y. They. Are you ready to write it down? Okay. Write it down. They. They. Okay. Does your word they look like this word they? Thumbs up if your word they looks like this word they. Yeah. Now it's time to use it in a sentence. They. They are going shopping after school. They are eating ice cream after dinner. Your turn to use they. So first graders, you learned so many new snap words today. We learned, read them with me, his, then, saw, said, say, and they. And first graders, now that we practiced these words and we wrote them and we said them, we studied them, they're in your brain and they'll be here forever. You can read and write these words in a snap. Have a good rest of the day.